Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Shooting Left of Center podcast. As usual, I am Yankee, and I am joined by Neverenuffammo and Gun Websites. I'll let them say hello here.
What's up?
Hello.
Been a long time since we actually did one of these because I keep forgetting what day it is. Plus, I've been doing a different format now, so it made it a little bit harder. Anything going on in your all's perspective worlds that's important that you want to talk about?
Not really.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be honest. I've been way too busy to worry about what's going on in the world.
that's because you're moving up to the tundra to become a narc.
Yeah.
You heard it here, everybody. He's moving to the tundra to become a narc. I have a feeling that you pretty soon are going to be dressed as a woman trying to pick up ne'er-do-wells in the park or something.
No, not yet. Anyway.
So if anybody's got any questions for us, go ahead and send them over. You can put them in the live chat. Just make sure to put at the Yankee Marshal in them. If you got any pictures or anything you want to share, put it over here or send it to me via email at shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. If you want to do a super chat to make sure you get heard, use that link up at the top of the video up there that says the Phil Tide Screw YouTube Super Chat Alternative. Don't go through YouTube. Don't give them any more money than we absolutely have to. So let's get started here. See if anybody's got any questions for me, G-Webs, or Neverenuffammo. And if you send questions over, if you want it for specifically one person, make sure you denote that so I know who you're talking to.
Let me start off with a question for you guys. What do you guys think of Rumble right now? Are you using it?
No. Here's the thing. I started an account on Rumble. One day it just disappeared. They just deleted all of it. So I just said, fuck it, and didn't bother with it. And then I went back like 6 months later, tried to open a new account. They tell me that account name's already in use. And I'm like, it was, and you all deleted it. So unless someone else has taken it, it's because you all deleted it, and they never responded again after that. So
weird. All right. You guys using it, Matt?
I have an account there. I've got two, actually, one for each of my channels. I don't really mess with it, though. I occasionally upload something there, but not very often.
Right on.
When I did,
keep hearing that there's audiences over there, but I'm like, yeah, for the people that got like kicked off of YouTube and are saying, just stuff that got them kicked off of YouTube or whatever, like their audiences are still over there, but I don't know if they're looking for what I'm putting out.
Yeah, I don't think they're interested in my stuff because, like, if I posted a video in here and let's say it got 10,000 views and I copied it to Rumble, it'd get like 7 views.
Yeah.
So I guess I could eventually establish a footprint over there, maybe if anybody was buying what I was selling. But I'm not really looking to expand. So eventually YouTube will throw me off and I'll have to start from scratch, and that'll be the motivation to do it. All right, here we got a question coming in from Pocket Sand. It says, "No, long time no see. Where are you going to move, Neverenuffammo?"
Michigan.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
What part? Like if it's
a little historic town called Lapeer.
Is that northern or southern Michigan?
Middle.
Yeah, you're going to freeze
and
your
towards
ass.
the east side.
Middle and
towards the east.
Okay.
You'll be a popsicle next time we see you. Told you he was moving to the tundra. Avo357 just used his 23-month WAP chat to say, "Good evening, Underwood 40 Smith & Wesson 100 grain Extreme Defender versus Fort Scott 40 Smith & Wesson TUI 125 grains for carry." I use both of these ammos, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think you're going to go wrong with either one. I'm a big fan of the TUIs. I like them, even if they don't do all that much tumbling, although they supposedly do. And I've seen the tests that show they do. Just as far as just penetration of hard barrier, car doors, things like that, they're awesome. So I would go with either one of them and be plenty happy. Either you two use those ammos?
Any 40 will beat any 9mm. That's all that matters. That's
true. Yeah. So either of those is fine, as long as it's not 9mm. Clover Tack, what the hell's he doing here? Talked with Tyler from Tundra Tactical at SHOT. He supposedly has the hookup to get traffic on Rumble. I haven't had time to follow up with him. Well, if you find it, well, tell him to get me to where I can have an account. They deleted my account and then won't let me join back up. I guess they don't want my type over there. That's what I'll do. I'll sue them for discrimination. Let's see here. See if we got any questions coming in over here on the PayPal or if anybody's paying their tithe to Phil. Remember, just because this is a podcast don't mean you don't have to pay your tithe to Phil if you're here and you're a follower of Phil. Let's see. Where are we at over here? I got to get signed in because I'm not prepared. Surprise, surprise. I'm not prepared. Oh, and to the 2 people who wanted the Valentine's Day designs, go buy them. You still ain't bought them, bitches. You make me do that work and then you don't even buy them. I do that work for 2 people because 2 people ask for something and then they just don't buy it. I don't think we got any comments coming in over here yet. Let's look and see. We got Jason Thompson, Officer Tater Hater. Saying, I bet he's telling me he sent me videos. There was a medic I served with who hates cops more than me. He even trolled the funeral of the one who arrested him. I'm not a fan of cops either. I don't think I'd troll anyone's funeral, but I'm not a fan either these days. It's the system I'm more not a fan of. Paul Bidenbach chimed in here and said, "Hail Phil, sent you a picture of my pooch, Maisie." Let's see if I can find it over here. Let me just search for his name. Remember, if anybody's got any questions, send them in. So we got something to talk about. Oh, isn't she cute? Rescue dog. And here, let me share the picture real quick. There's that share screen, window. Boom, boom. Rescue dog, born with heart murmur and no vision in right eye. Awesome pooch. Oh, she looks like a good puppy. She looks like a very good puppy. She accepts your flaws, so you got to accept hers. Clover Tax says, yeah, we'll 100% mention to him your problem. I got you, man. Yeah, they told me that, I said someone's using my name, and if nothing else, that's theft of intellectual property. And they basically said, well, you got to send us proof that that's your property. And I was like, dude, I got this YouTube channel, and I'm the one that started the channel, and now it's gone, and I can't use it. And then they never said anything back to me. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any questions coming in over here. Dan Loon is here. I haven't seen him in a while. Where he been hiding at? What did he have to say? Our governor in Idaho, I think ID's Idaho, right?
I think so.
Or is that Indiana? I don't remember.
Indiana.
I don't remember.
You're going to learn Indiana pretty soon.
Yeah, I know. I'll be right there.
We're right next to that hellhole. I used to have to spend my summers in Indianapolis and
wannabe Illinois.
Hot, flat, and lots of tornadoes. Our governor in, let's assume that's Idaho, wants no kill in animal shelters here by year end. Got my FA model. Oh, you motherfucker. Got his FA model 83 today. I've wanted one of those my adult life. I didn't want one when I was a baby. I didn't know about them. But I've wanted one of those my whole adult life. Never had one.
FA Freedom Arms.
Yeah, that's a Freedom Arms Model 83.
It's a massive revolver.
It's a massive, wonderful revolver. Someone just sent in a picture here. Who is this? Kyle Lejeune. This motherfucker got a new gun too. He just got the new Tomcat, the 30X. That's one of the guns that's on my list that I want really bad. I've got a Tomcat, but it ain't that one. I like everything they did different on that one. I like all the changes. The push button instead of the lever, moving the mag release up to a more traditional spot, and making replaceable front and rear sights, and the flat.
So you're saying instead of a lever to flip the barrel up, it's a button?
Yeah, there's a button there now. So there used to be a little, you've seen them before, the little levers.
Yeah, I got one. Well, I got a mains, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's got a button now there. I don't know how hard it is to push the button. Hopefully it's not that hard, but I like that design a little better.
I kind of like the theory that, button isn't going to be smashed as often as a lever could be not that they get pushed that often.
Yeah, it's hard. It'd be, because it kind of sits down in behind the grip, it'd be real hard to do it by accident. That's for sure. Let's see here where we're at. What did he say? Did I answer his question? Oh yeah, he wants to know no kill in animal shelters. I agree with that 100%. It wouldn't be cheap. That's the thing, is how do you fund it is the thing. Are people going to be willing to pay for it? Are they, is the legislature, maybe they should spend, instead of spending in all these states like Washington, maybe instead of spending tens of millions of dollars fighting lawsuits against unconstitutional gun laws. They should spend that money helping out with animal shelters.
They make you wait a week to buy a gun. Why don't you wait a week before you can make the decision to abandon an animal?
Yeah. A week. It's 2 weeks.
Shit, you have to wait 2 weeks to buy a gun?
2 weeks. From the day you buy a gun, the fastest you can really pick it up is 14 days because of the weekends, because it's
well, you people are angrier, so I can see why the waiting periods would be longer up there.
Yeah, well, here in Washington, that's what we're known for, being angry people.
And you hold your grudges like 13 days easy.
Easy. But on that 14th day, they're fine.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard of anyone holding a grudge over 14 days, so that makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. The bearded hamster said, Django Unchained sleeve holster Derringer option. I don't remember enough about that movie to know what sleeve holster he's talking about.
Plus, there's so many movies that had Derringer like flip out things before that movie. That movie's like 2 years old.
I like the ones where it would pop out into their palm. Remember those?
Oh, you know what it was? The Old West show. What was that? What was it called? Wild Wild West?
Wild West.
Didn't you have one of them?
With Connery or whatever his name? Not Connery. Conrad or something. Robert Conrad.
Yeah, Robert Conrad. Yeah.
I don't remember that, though. I'm not that old, obviously. But I've always loved Derringers because of those shows like that. Because they always had like a little mechanism that would shoot it out into their hand, and they.
Oh, you know who else? That guy, Rockford Files. He does Western one. He had one of them, I think.
Yeah, what was the name of that show he did the Western?
Maverick.
Maverick,
yep.
Yeah, so that's that. But I did name my dog Django. That's spelled that way too. A lot of people think it's after Django Fett. No, it's actually after neither of those people. It's after the father of Wanda Maximoff and them. His name was Django Maximoff. He was the father of the Scarlet Witch, and the adoptive father of the Scarlet Witch and Pietro, where I got the name from. Then people are like, that's not where you got it from. How would anybody even know that? I'm like, I read. So I'm smart. I read history by both Marvel and DC, and sometimes Image. Let's see here. Let's get back over here.
Would Ryan Reynolds be a good Maverick?
I don't know.
No,
I don't think so. He's
I'm
not.
trying to think of who would be a good Maverick.
Because I don't know about anybody else. Maybe some other people feel differently, but when I see Ryan Reynolds, I don't think any type of toughness. Now, Maverick wasn't like the toughest guy, but he was tough enough, and he was wily.
He had tough behind him. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the one that came out in the 90s with Mel Gibson. I thought that was pretty good.
I think he did a good one, yeah.
Oh,
and then plus it had what's his face in it, so it kind of gave a nod to
the guy who played Rockford, the Rockford Files. What's his name? I'm fucking blanking on his name.
James Garner.
James Garner.
James Garner. That is my grandfather. He looks just like my grandfather. And apparently he was actually a tough ass guy because I remember there's stories about him going and strong arming other actors. There was another actor who's a notorious tough guy who lost a lot of money in a card game to one of the key grips, one of the people on the set, and he wouldn't pay him because he was famous and he wasn't. And James Garner went and had a talk with him, and the guy gave him the money 5 minutes later. So I've
never heard anything bad about James Garner. Like he sounds like everybody liked him.
Yeah, I've heard that movie Tank. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I loved that. That was awesome. I love that movie, and I'm mainly because of him. I like that movie a lot. Made me want to tank like I wanted a Derringer, although I would never have owned a tank.
Maybe want to tank more. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe want to tank more. Exactly. Let's see here. Let me make sure we're all caught up on the questions over here, and then we'll get to the live chat over here. Yep, we're caught up over there. Let's see if there's anything coming in over here.
Look at Clovertack's last comment over there. He needs to start an Instagram channel where he goes around telling everybody he's the son of James Garner.
Yeah, that's what people will buy that.
That
little redheaded girl over there is the son of James Garner. Let's see here. Where was I? I'm going to start working here, see if I can find any questions for anybody here. We are neck and neck on likes over the flat face triggers. We are neck and neck on like. Oh, I like the flat face triggers a lot. Yes, I do. I like because you can get better leverage on them. You can slide that finger down towards the bottom and ride the trigger guard. Now, if you've got a gun where the trigger guard's real big to where your finger could flip under it, that wouldn't be good. But the way they make the guns now, you can just ride your finger along the bottom of the trigger guard, or the top, I guess it's the top of the bottom of the trigger guard, and get that really nice pull on the trigger. I really like them.
Interesting.
I didn't
never
like them
played around with that before. Now I kind of want to get somebody with a flat trigger so I can try that. You're talking about a pistol, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would show you right now, but I would get thrown off the air because you know how dangerous that is. I want to share a picture.
Waiting period. Like you could do it, but you'd have to tell us and then wait 2 weeks and then you could show us.
Here's the picture. Kevin Mabry got his SDR. I sent him. He sent me a picture. Although now this picture makes me nervous. Did I just provide a gun to a terrorist or some sort of weird granola eating hippie terrorist or something? Because, you know, if you can't be bothered to shave, you can't be very trustworthy or law abiding, obviously.
Well, if it was a hippie, there'd be dreadlocks.
Well, you don't know. He might have them up in a bun.
Oh, snap. I forgot about man buns. Yep. Yeah,
the man buns get you sometimes. You'll see someone like in a hoodie or something. They look like a normal person and they take it down and they got the bun. You have to go, oh, I have to reevaluate my opinions of you now. Let the haters hate. He got a new pew pew. Is that a Kel-Tec? Oh my God. Let's see here. Let me see if I can share it. This here's
that new Kel-Tec 5.7 yet.
What's that?
You guys haven't had a chance to shoot that new Kel-Tec 5.7 yet.
No. Which is that the one that loads with the clips?
Yeah, stripper clips from the top.
Yeah. I mean, it's innovative. But the way I look at it, people are like, well, do you think that could be a solution to the? I'm like, no, let's just fight the stupid restriction laws instead of trying to come up with. And
Tony's in New Jersey, and he said that they figured out a long time ago not to say magazine laws. Now they call it capacity laws because they want to make sure they cover other things besides detachable magazines.
Well, some of the laws do cover clips. They'll say magazine, clip, or other devices that can hold, blah, blah, blah. But they took that into account by making it two 10-rounders instead of 120. So they did cover their bases there. But the thing is that gun a good alternative to another gun? No. Before I would tell someone, get that Kel-Tec with 20 rounds, I'd be like, get yourself a revolver with 7 rounds or get yourself another gun with 10 would still be better than carrying the Kel-Tec with 20.
I like innovation and stuff, and I like Kel-Tec more than
I like that part.
But so I went up there skeptical though, and I was like, who's this? Mainly I want to know about malfunctions on it. And so they ran me through the thing. I was, on range day or whatever. And the guy could probably tell I was a little bit apprehensive about it. Like I wasn't super enthusiastic for no reason about it. I own a Grendel P10. So I have one of the dudes, Pilgrims. Designs that use the stripper clips. Yeah. And the problem is I am scared shitless when that thing has a malfunction, and it malfunctions all the time. It's because you can't drop a magazine, and that's your first, tendency. And without doing that, think about if you can't drop a magazine, what the fuck do you do? So on that one, you can push the trigger forward and pull the slide off, which is okay, but it's not that great. So I can't imagine for the life of me why they didn't just make a thing where the bottom drops out like every bolt action rifle that has an internal magazine, right? Like you can just drop the bottom out and let the spring drop all the rounds out the bottom.
Now, how hard is it to take the bottom off? Because I do see that
You can't. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not designed that way. It's just literally a box magazine. So I'm not impressed with that part. I don't like that part. But one of the things I thought was interesting, the whole slide and everything being round, they did that so that they don't have to do a lot of machining. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck yeah. Like make this gun with a magazine so normal people can use it. And then, save time and machining by making the slide round. Like I'm all down for that kind of innovation. So there's parts of it I thought were clever. And it shoots like a dream. It shoots like a 22 because it's 5.7. Yeah. But it is big because it's 5.7. So people with like short fingers, small hands, like with short fingers probably ain't going to like it. But anyway, I just figured since we're talking Kel-Tec, I thought that thing was another.
There's Tim Mullers, by the way. Everybody feel free to send him hate mail. Let's see here. We got a question coming in from Jesse Brachman. Checked one off the bucket list last week. Got tickets to go see 9 Inch Nails. I thought it was going to be a gun he bought. But,
nice. I didn't even know they were still touring.
I saw that they were coming here, and I actually considered getting tickets. And then I said, well, wait a minute. I don't like going around people. And 2, I don't like 9 Inch Nails. So, but, just because of the nostalgia of it, I almost did it. But
who are they with? Like they can't be by themselves.
I don't know. I think they're just coming to a small venue. So I think it's like out in Edgefield or something. So that I'm not as bad on. I don't mind.
Well, what am I saying? It's one dude, right? 9 Inch Nails is one guy with a.
No, it's a whole band.
It's a band.
Oh, it is.
I mean, the main guy, Trent Reznor, is like the main dude, and
Yeah, if it was him and they were put other people in wigs, probably nobody noticed. But
I just thought it was him with a keyboard or whatever. It is a group then. Okay.
yeah. But yeah, I almost considered
well,
it
the
myself.
fact that, I mean, he does movies now. He does movie soundtracks and all kinds of like
He's
I don't know why.
He's a regular Stuart Copeland.
Yeah.
By the drummer.
What's cool is when we were all young, like I guess high school, I remember seeing Red Hot Chili Peppers in a tiny ass venue before they were massive.
Yeah.
And now that they're all old, you can go watch them in tiny venues again. Because that was actually way better than going to stadiums and shit.
I went and saw Joan Jett, a few years back, and it was in the Crystal Ballroom in Portland, and it's just a little dance club hall room, and literally at any moment I could have leaned over and touched her on the foot while she was singing. So that's freaking awesome. Only thing is those venues don't have chairs. It's standing room only, so you have to stand the whole concert. And I'm getting a little old for that because I took Caden to one not too long ago. And we had to stand the whole time, and I was like, "This is getting a little old. This is starting to hurt." But yeah, I much prefer the small venues. It's so much better. What were we talking about before we started talking about that?
That Keltec, I think.
Yeah, okay, I forgot what I was going to say something, but I don't remember what it was now. Let's see here. Let's get back to the questions. Let's see if anybody's got anything coming in here that I can actually find. Jason Thompson chimed in here and said, Matt, you're not becoming a cop, are you? I cannot see as a cop. Well, I see him as a cop.
No.
All he's got to do is put on mirrored sunglasses.
I'm not going to talk much about it, but since your fucking chat was live and I didn't know it was live when we came in, I will just say this. What I'm doing, I am doing for a private corporation.
Well, no one else
I'm not becoming a cop or anything like that. Okay.
That's
that's not what's happening.
So you heard it here.
And the fact that I'm not talking about it is because of other factors, not because I give a shit about talking about it. There are other reasons why I'm not going into any details about what I'm doing.
Without covering too many.
I don't give a shit. I'll tell you guys any fucking thing. I've spent 15 years on here telling you guys some of the shit that you probably don't even give a fuck about. I'll talk about anything, but there are other things I have to take into consideration. So, but no, I'm going to be working for a private corporation.
Now, without giving anything away, is the corporation rhyme with something you might use to protect yourself from the rain?
No.
The Umbrella Corporation?
Oh.
No. That'd be a great job. I bet they pay well, though.
Mm-hmm.
Work in a hole with monsters?
Well, I'm sure this is not an organization that we actually hear of. They don't publicize these clandestine organizations. He's probably got to swear fealty to a council of 12, and they have to consult ancient prophecies before they can do
nothing so ominous. It is just that to do certain things for certain companies, you have to be certified by the state.
So when do you all think the apocalypse will be able to be brought about? I'm sure that's your main goal, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm anxious to see now, though. But yeah. All right, let's get on with the questions here. That was, like I said, that was Officer Tater Hater that asked you that. Jesse Brackman chimed in again here and said, there's been no announcement on the opening band, but they are playing the United Center here, which is a big stadium. Oh, here? No, I don't think they're in that big a stadium here. Because the Moda is the big stadium here, which I refuse to go to after New Year's Eve, after losing my fucking carry gun, my 360 PD because of some asshole. I'm not going to clubs and stuff where they serve alcohol ever again. Ever. So he doesn't know who the opening act is either. Tim Moeller, now he's chiming in here. Probably going to tell us to not make fun of his. That was a Springfield Hellion, you boob. Well, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a Keltec. Did you all know what it was?
I would have. You could have bet me $1,000 and I wouldn't have been able to name that gun.
Yeah, I had no idea what that was. It's one of them plastic nightmares. So I guess send him even more hate mail because he bought a Springfield. Now I was okay with Keltec. I was just like, oh, he's stupid.
What do you think of, like, I always tell, I mean, we've been around for a while doing this stuff, and like, what I mean by doing this stuff is like paying attention and chatting about it, right? So it's not like you have to have your finger, we're just watching. It's not like we have to be involved with anything to know what's going on in the gun community, right? And, it's been fucking years. I mean, shit, we started chatting with each other like in 10, fucking earlier than that, maybe. But, some of this stuff that comes in cycles, and, like, what we were just talking about, that's like not the first time, anything, shit. So anyway, what do you guys, I don't know, it's been a while since I've asked that question, because I know I've asked it before, but, with the audiences that come and go, and, like, I don't know, just pick a topic, and everyone will, every once in a while, you have to really go through and thrash that topic out. I guess I was thinking of like I think Yankee just posted something about Springfield being fucking assholes or whatever, and should we give a shit about that? And it's like, I mean, it's the tendency of everything, I suppose, for people to just forget about it. Like, generationally, it's people forget about shit. But I mean, I get personally fucking annoyed when what they did in Illinois was fuckery, and all they got to do is wait a while and pay enough fucking come and goes. I call them the come and goes. These fuckers that join the community, they usually come from failed fucking some other industry. They figure out that gun owners are a bunch of dumbasses because we don't have a memory. Only because we don't have a memory. We don't pay attention to this shit enough. So those of us that are paying attention see these fuckers come and go, right? Like, they come around for a couple of years till their cover's blown, and then they fucking leave and go rip off maybe auto people or motorcycle people. I don't know what they do. But Springfield will pay those fuckers the come and goes, and they just wait a few months, years, and nobody gives a shit about Springfield. They'll buy their shit right up. I don't know. So what do you guys think of that? Is that like, am I just human?
And then sometimes the come and goes come and then start to go and then end up sticking around because they hook up with a bunch of other come and goes, and then they start
at the media room and talk about a bunch of fuckers.
some form of like gun collectors group.
Sort
a collective. You could call it a collective. Yes.
Collective, a gun collective.
A bunch of people who didn't know anything about guns except cars. And then they came on certain people's live chats and learned everything about guns, and then went and formed a collective.
Yeah.
You mean like those people?
And get big money behind them so that they can get big and influence people's opinions when they don't really know anything about what
fuck up and then leave, right? And then a couple of years later, I'm like I say, like I've said this before on my chats and shit, I'll rage about this shit, but they'll come out of the fucking woodwork in election years and other times when they know that there's an opportunity. They've seen enough of them in the media room at SHOT Show. A bunch of motherfuckers that we're talking about were standing there, but they don't have their fucking old names on their shit. Now they're standing behind some new motherfucker who's doing whatever, so they're whispering in people's ears, and it fucking drives me nuts.
They're a new puppet.
I think the first time I saw it was after Sandy Hook. That's because that's when I was on YouTube, because that's when the gamer agents came from. The gaming channels were massive still. Before that, the agents figured out, because of what's his face, that they could come over to guns, and they came over to guns and started representing a bunch of people. And that's when everybody, well, not everybody, but a bunch of people went from like medium-sized channels to massive channels, and they exploited the shit out of Sandy Hook, dude.
I almost wish I'd have said yes back then instead of saying no, because then
we got fucked. We got took into the news because they owned all our content.
I just out of laziness said no, because I had 3 or 4 different, those network fucking whatever agent people contacting me at that time. Right. And I just, because you guys know how lazy I am. I never promote my channel. I never you know what I mean? And it was just laziness. That's the only that saved my ass from getting hooked up with one of those people.
Yeah. And I was running with the wrong people for a little while. I'm sure a lot of I was hanging with some of the bigger names that were leading me down a bad path. And luckily, right off the bat, or not right off the bat, but eventually, after a few things of giving them the benefit of a doubt a few times, I realized, hey, these people don't give a shit about gun rights or the gun community. They're here to make money and get power. And that's it. And they basically, when they started showing me that, I was like, people didn't understand. Well, why are you saying bad things about this person now? You used to be friends. Why are you saying bad things about this person now? I was like, because they showed me who they were. And they showed me who they were while trying to get me to be one of them. And I wasn't interested. Like when they contacted me, two of the biggest names in the gun industry contacted me about, hey, we want to take Handguns for Heroes National. And I'm like, oh, that'd be great. If the more we could do, the better. We're going to hire this company that runs this other thing, and we're going to be on the board, and we'll make this much. And I'm like, I don't want to turn this into a for-profit thing. And they're like, well, but that's the way we'd actually get more done. And yeah, we'd make money, but still blah, 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 more people would get help. So you got to be willing to make money and to see more people get help. And I'm like, I don't got to be willing to do that at all. And if you even try to do what you're talking about doing, I'll sue you out the ass for intellectual property theft, which is why to this day, even though I don't do Handgun for Heroes anymore, it's still on my website and it says suspended for lack of funds, but I keep it on there so I maintain my intellectual property. So it's just, they don't care about the gun community. They didn't really even know anything about guns. A lot of them still don't. You watch a lot of these bigger channels, and I'm just like, well, what you just said is something you would say if you've never shot a gun before, but it's not true. But people fall for it, and people think that those are the guys that are really working and really getting things done in Washington and everything else. No, they're not. They join things like the GOA for a paycheck and a title, but they don't really get anything done. It's counterproductive to them if things get done because it costs them money. So yeah, get me on that soapbox again. That's what we need to do right now. See what you're doing, G-Webs? You're getting my blood pressure up.
Yeah, sorry.
That's fine. I like getting my blood pressure up every now and then.
Don't get me started on GOA. I mean, I appreciate what they do, but I put out a thing every month. Like I have a poll that I put out every month just to kind of put a finger on the pulse. And GOA is like the popular opinion 8-1, 9-1 over anybody else.
Mm-hmm. They're NRA 2.0.
Well, what's going on in Colorado? What's going on in Washington? What's going on in Massachusetts? That's all I got to say is what the fuck. If they're no compromise, what the fuck is happening in Washington? What's happening in fucking, Nevada, but really Colorado? And then,
there's no compromise as in if it doesn't make them profit, they don't do it.
Well, I don't know if it's just that, but there's entities in Washington, and it's like they play zones. So it's like they're not touching the places where the other national organizations are. And since the other national organizations are weak as fuck and don't do shit except steal money, now there's voids in those states.
Mm-hmm. Talk is cheap has just chimed in here. It says, new gun for me, 686 through plus 3-inch. That's awesome.
Very nice.
Yep. That's probably the best gun you can buy right now. I always maintain that the 686 plus is the best handgun, on the market, and the 3-inch is probably my favorite model. Not answering my monthly chat on or about drawing. Oh, well, we'll do the drawing. It was supposed to be last night, but I didn't get it done last night. Stick around after this chat is over, and we'll do the drawing tonight. So everyone who is waiting for the results on the drawing, once we sign off from the live chat, then I'll do the boring drawing stuff. Well, it's not boring to the people who win. So we'll get
me and Matt were winning this month. Wasn't that on the list?
That was the agreement, but people, you didn't pay. The checks didn't clear. Practical Bacon said, did I miss one of his chats up here or something? Oh, there it is. Are you going to become a bootlicker now, associate with Matt because of Paul needs a hand? Oh, that's what he said. No, I'll be nice to his face so he doesn't, because when this clandestine organization he becomes a member of brings about the apocalypse, I want to be one of the people they welcome into their spaceship. So I'll pretend to be nice. I'm
one of the zombie wranglers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
what was the name of that? Was it Jeremiah, the one with the people from Monano 210 that was the apocalypse, and Matt's going to be that place that was in that big cave or whatever.
Yeah.
You see, I watched like the first half of a season of that and then never saw any more of it.
I can't remember. I think
it went 2 seasons, but you can't find it anywhere. It's not streaming anywhere anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not even on any of the websites.
Okay. Practical Bacon chimed in here.
Out what website you're watching? All mine went dead.
Practical Bacon here chimed in, says that roundtable chat was the biggest eye opener for me when it came to the scumbags in the gun community. Oh, I remember that night. I was in the comment section, kept typing in all caps and screaming, and then they blocked me because that was I think a lot of them got all wide-eyed because they're like, oh, some of you guys just said stuff out loud that we only say when we're just talking to each other. You just said it on a live chat in front of people who give us money.
There's also people that don't know that people have different opinions than them. So they're like just saying what they think everybody believes.
Yeah, there's that. They exposed a lot of what they were that night. I was so angry during that chat. Flash in the Pan says, are all Kel-Tecs crap? Yes. Every one of them? Absolutely. Now, the sub 2000s, work because, I mean, they're just
I had a sub 2000. I'd never had any issues with it, and I shot it a lot.
They're just a
I have also heard good things about the SU-16. I've never owned one, so I can't speak from personal experience.
I have never heard good things about the SU-16 because if anybody tried to say good things about it to me, I would smack them. I'd give them such a pinch if they tried to tell me something good about a Kel-Tec. I will not hear it. Not in my house. I'll put up with a lot of things in my house, but not that. One of my kids ever came in and said, I want to buy a Kel-Tec. That's one of the few things that they'd get themselves in trouble for. Although some people say that you can't choose whether you like Kel-Tecs or not. You're born that way, but I don't. I think it's a choice. Let's see here. I think that's it for us tonight. You guys got anything to say before we get out of here?
No,
nothing.
I refuse to say anything.
Tim Bowler chimed in one more time here at the last second. Let's see what he said. Trump bans bump stocks and says take the guns first, yet the NRA, every tacticard, 90% of the gun public licks his ass. You don't see me licking his ass because I don't trust him. And so far, he's done exactly what I said. He's helped billionaires and nobody else. I don't like the fact that they gave full access to an unelected billionaire, all of our private information, and plus the private information of every government contractor when he's a government contractor, one of the biggest. So I have not been happy with them since they took office. They're going to have to do a lot of things to make me happy, and they ain't done none of them. So you don't see me.
Well, I mean, they were elected. I mean,
not Elon Musk was not.
Yeah, he was.
No, he was not.
If you voted for Trump, I mean, Trump had been talking about it since the beginning of September.
Elon Musk was not on the ticket. If Elon Musk had been on the ticket,
not on the ticket, but Donald Trump literally came out on September 5th and said Elon Musk will be in charge of government efficiency. So if you voted for him, you voted for that.
He did not have nothing about government efficiency has anything to do with giving him access to the entire country's social security numbers and private information, credit information, etc.
Well, I mean, have you seen that speech? Like that was like I'm just saying if you didn't know that this was going to happen before you voted for him, then you weren't paying attention.
But it's about the details. You knew that something was going to happen, but it's the amount of detail since it's not a post that existed before.
This was not a surprise at all. And anybody that paid attention should not be surprised.
It surprised me because I thought it might be one of those things they say just to appease the extremists, but they would never actually do it. But then they did it, and they haven't done any of the stuff they promised us. I haven't seen anything about the NFA, anything about the ATF, anything that would help people like myself. So I haven't been happy.
And that lady from Florida, what's her name?
Pam Bondi.
Yeah, the fucking one that likes red flag laws, thinks that's a cool thing to do. That's not a great move.
No, that wasn't great at all. So I haven't been happy with him, and I'm not a Trump derangist or anything. I'm not someone who just automatically hates him, but like I said, I ain't seen any results yet from them taking power. I didn't, and I'm not someone who expected, eggs are going to get cheaper overnight or gas is going to get cheaper overnight, because I know that that's not really going to happen. So it's not those things I'm harping on. It's just that I don't see any steps being taken on the things he promised us. So I'm not happy about that. Got a quick chime in here from Christian Carlson. Says, thinking of GX4 with a red dot better than a G3C. Would like TH9C, but don't think they come red dot ready. Yeah, I think I would go with the GX4 over the G3C. The G3C is a great gun for what it is, but I think the GX4 would be better. I've given away one of those at one point, but I never owned one, but I think it would be better. Kevin Mabry also sent in a picture real quick. Trying to get everybody in here before we bolt. Share. He sent in a picture of his guns. There's his SDR with its big brother now. The one we just sent him, plus the big brother, the Smith. All right, everybody. All right, everyone. Why does that keep going back to that format? I keep putting it on this format, and it keeps going back to this one. I don't know how to keep it there. But thanks, everybody, for coming. Thanks to Gun Websites and Neverenuffammo for showing up. You know, I try to do these every week, but they just don't show up. So I have to go on and do my own. It's not me forgetting. I just say I forgot to cover for him, but really it's just that Neverenuffammo doesn't care about the viewers, so he doesn't.
Yeah, that's totally it.
It's not me forgetting like that it's Thursday. Like I wouldn't have known today was Thursday if I hadn't gone to the gun shop. But thanks everybody for coming. Thanks everybody for participating. Thank you guys for showing up. I'll see you all again next time. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe. Till I'll see you again. I am a grown-ass man.